The sternum piercing, otherwise known as the cleavage piercing, is an amazing accent piercing, or it can leave a really large scar in a really noticeable spot. Let's start off by dispelling the myth. This does not go into the bone. This is not into the sternum. It is just a surface piercing, vertical, right in the middle of the chest. Now, this is an extremely anatomy-dependent piercing, which means if the placement isn't proper, it's going to leave a big scar. Basically, that means you need to find a spot that doesn't move. When you move your arms around, take your bra off, putting it on, everything should be stationary to allow this piercing to heal. Now, once you find that spot, and the easiest way to do this is with a piece of tape, put a piece of tape on your chest, the length of the piercing is going to be, and start moving around. If the tape pulls, it's probably not going to heal for you. Try this with a bra on, with the bra off, because once you come in, we will do range of motion tests to make sure this is going to work for you. Now, as far as the jewelry goes, you need to use a surface bar on this. Don't use a curved barbell. It has to be this straight underneath with the 90-degree uplifts on the end. A lot of times we're going to be putting flat discs on the top as opposed to the beads. The beads can rock back and forth. The flat disc will hold it in place much better. Now, I also suggest getting the flat surface bar as opposed to the round surface bar. You can see the difference here. The flat one doesn't show the bar coming through when the chest is nice and tight. Now, easily the most common problem is what I mentioned earlier. That's too much movement and the bar moving back and forth. If you find a stationary area where there's no movement, you're not going to get those irritation bumps. Now, if you bend over and it seems like the bar's sticking out on the bottom, there's too much movement and you're probably not going to heal this up. This is extremely difficult to find the proper placement, and that is the key. Now, if you find that proper placement, expect probably 6 months to a full year to heal this up. We've talked about surface piercings in the past, but this area seems a little thinner and it seems a little more sensitive. Let's check it out. It's what I expected, but then again, I've done a lot of these piercings. Now, with the nature of surface piercings, they are a little bit slower, but it's still really not that bad. So I started this video by saying it can leave a really large scar, and I haven't talked about that yet, because if this piercing does reject, it will leave a very large visible scar. Of course, you can always get rid of some of that scar tissue, but sometimes it's just better not to get it if you're not the right candidate. For instance, I had this one girl come in one time who wanted to get it, but she was so skinny and you could only see the bone right there. And I said, sorry, you don't have the anatomy. She just looked at me and goes, don't you have a drill or anything? So have the right anatomy, and this piercing can heal up and look beautiful. Don't force it to happen because you'll end up with a really large scar. I'm a fan of this if it's going to work, but again, make sure you have the right anatomy. If you enjoyed my video, let me know about it in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button, and of course, keep putting holes in your body. See you on the next video.